Tom, thanks so much. And wow, the Mets are back in the NLCS for the first time since 2015. The Amazons on a magic carpet ride, and they are rolling. Derek Jeter is here, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Alex, I'm going to take you back to June 2nd. They were 11 games under 500. They were one of the worst teams in the league. And since that time, they've been the best team in Major League Baseball.
Indeed, Kevin. And it was Francisco Lindor who was struggling early on. He was miserable in April and parts of May. And he called a team meeting, Poppy, much like you've done, Jeep, much like you've done in your past. And it's impressive to be struggling that bad, be 10 games under, call a team meeting, rally the troops. And like KB said, since London, they've been the best team in baseball with the best record.
You're talking about leadership. That kid have leadership. He know where to go. He's that type of player. He is the one that bring everybody together on the ball club. And the funny thing about it is that the game will find you. Look at that at bat. It was no other player better than him to be facing that situation. And you know what he did? Come on, guys, jump on my back. I got you. This is the type of player that everybody was expecting to be when he first got to New York.
Yeah, I mean, you get to this point in the postseason, and every time a team wins, they say, well, no one expected us to be here, right? That's what everyone says, even though most of the teams are expected to be there. But no one expected the Mets to be in this position, like you said, early June. They deserve credit. The players deserve credit. David Stearns deserves credit.
Sure.
I think you mentioned earlier, they traded Scherzer. They traded DeGrom. People think they're blowing it up and they're years away, and look where they are now. They got a chance to win the National League pennant.
Pretty impressive. Lindor's been great. And you mentioned this last night. How about Carlos Mendoza? Comes over from the Yankee bench coach, takes over manager in his first year, has his team now into the NLCS, and he's standing by with our Tom Verducci.
Carlos Mendoza, first-year manager. You start 0-5. You're 11 games under 500 at the end of May. And now you will be playing for the National League pennant. What does this night mean for you?
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable, humbling. But I'm looking around this, it's like a dream come true. You got to give the credit to the players, to the coaches, the whole organization. It wasn't easy, like you said. A lot of adversity, ups and downs, and we never gave up. I knew I had really good players. I knew we had really good people here. That one was best for this organization, and here we are, man. It's like a movie. We just had to continue to enjoy it, and I'm just proud of the whole group.
The Phillies tried basically every pitcher they could to hold down your offense, and they just could not do it. Is this the best your offense has been clicking this year?
Yeah, I mean, the at-bats that we're having, especially now in the playoff, and I'm going to go back to that game that we clinched a playoff against Atlanta, against one of the best bullpens in the league. We did it against the Brewers, now against the Phillies for 4 games. I think it's just people believing in themselves, believing in their teammates, passing the baton, not trying to do too much, controlling the strike zone, and just staying in the moment, putting the ball in play, and I'm just proud of them.
And now you're going to the NLCS. You can believe in that.
Yeah, we got to continue to believe, you know.
Congratulations, Carlos. We'll see you at the LCS. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, they continue to believe. It certainly worked. It has worked for Carlos and the Mets. And, Tom, thanks very much. In the LDS, by the Mets have never lost. They're 5-0 in this round, on to the LCS. 2015, last time they were there, went on to the World Series, take on the Royals. Since Citi Field opened in 2009, they have never had a chance to clinch at home. Today, the first time, and they and their fans are enjoying it. There's the team picture. So much drama, so many fun things along the way. You see, oh, my God, that's Iglesias at second base who debuted his song. Performed his song on the field in the middle of this run. You had, of course, Grimace throwing out the first pitch, and ever since that in June, the Mets are the best record in the league. Very, very underdog. I thought what Mendoza said, though, one of the things there, Derek, which I know you could speak to, said, you know, the team, they just passed the baton. No one's trying to do too much. Did you agree with that, watching them this postseason so far?
No question. I mean, look at, you go down their lineup, right? Lindor's had big moments. Vientos, Nimmo, Alonso, Iglesias, Martinez, Marte, all of them have contributed. And when you're pitching against a team that is that deep, it's tough to come out on top. You know, you don't rely on one particular person to carry the load. And And the Mets have been able to do that. We talk about magic, and it's more than magic. They believe that they're going to win. They were down 1-0 tonight, and we're sitting there waiting for them to score again, come back, because that's just what they do. They believe it's going to happen, and it's a very dangerous team when you have a good team that also believes it.
Yeah, and they're 4-0 when they're behind. It feels like when they're behind in the game, the Mets got you right where they want you.
Yeah.
And we stopped doubting them. And I think Jeter and I flipped, and we said, okay, forget the Phillies. We're going to go on this bandwagon. But there's a bigger lesson here with Carlos Mendoza. Carlos Mendoza was one of our coaches in the minor leagues in 2009 when we won the title in New York. And he's 44 years old. But everybody's in a hurry in baseball. And you got to develop, right? 14 years with the Yankees in the minor leagues, 27 in professional baseball. And you can tell that although he's a rookie this year as a manager, there's experience. He's cut his teeth with the Yankees. He's cut his teeth in the minor leagues. He communicates. He was with Rob Thompson. He learned from Joe Torre and Joe Girardi. And there's a great lesson, I think, not only for the Mets, but for all of baseball to say, you know what? You've got to develop talent. And it's not only the players, but coaches and managers as well. He's a perfect byproduct of putting in the time.
Absolutely. And you say it, OG. You say they were 11 games before Lindor called a meeting, 11 games on the 500. That move right there changed the whole thing. And to be in the position that they are at right now, everybody had to come in and do something, make it different. And let's not forget, they have been playing like that for the last 2 months.
Tell you, it's interesting. We came into the series talking about the Phillies, and rightfully so, their starting pitching, right? I mean, they had multiple all-stars of their starting pitching staff, and they got good starting pitching for the most part in this series. That wasn't their issue. But what we didn't know is, look at Iglesias. The oh my God, it became the rallying cry for the Mets. Jose Iglesias, who came up and was in the minor leagues and had a career year out of nowhere. One of the great stories on this team. But Al, I was just going to say, we talked so much about the Phillies pitching. The Mets starting pitching was exceptional in this series. It really was.
It really was, and they put it together. It's interesting. Like Steve Cohen, the owner, came in and tried to build an economic juggernaut, and it failed. And by cutting back, they actually have a team now that's not only the hottest team in baseball, but is now in the NLCS. And they've done it with people and team, and pitching has been the glue. You go to Minaya and Quintana, guys that have been a bit of journeymen. Minaya went down to the minor leagues, fixed his arm angle, and Quintana's been a solid guy, but they all overachieved, and here they are. It's been a fun ride to watch.
The one thing that as a hitter you don't want to do is when your timing is a little off, face a pitcher like Quintana. Because like you say earlier today, that plate became to be 19 inches wide when you are facing a guy like him, because he forced you to chase pitches out of the strike zone like he did tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Iglesias not on the team early on and coming up and having such a huge contribution. The thing is, when you change, sometimes environment brings out the best in players. It's simple as switching teams and being around people, different people in the clubhouse. Being a part of a team that doesn't rely on just, for those of you that can't see, Dave is dancing. So anyway, being around a group of guys that don't rely on just one particular individual. Every night, it's someone new. And change of scenery helps a lot. And it seems like it's helped everyone that's come into this clubhouse.
And Derek, we've talked about it. I think the key word this October has been balance. And yeah, you see the home run and you see the grand slam and you see Alonso with 3 oppos. But the Mets are doing a lot more than hitting home runs. They're bunting, they're walking, they're passing the baton, they're hitting in the clutch, 2-strike hitting, 1-strike hitting. They're doing it all. And this whole nonsense about, home run or bust with a bunch of strikeouts, to me that doesn't work. That'll never work. You see what the Mets are doing, and they're doing it with balance and contact and grit.
And the pitching. And Look at Quintana today, right? He wasn't the story coming in. Look at him.
Yeah, pitching has been great. We'll listen in when they actually pop the champagne in just a moment. Looks like they're getting closer with Carlos Mendoza getting set to address the team. But talking about the balance and the passing of the baton, they had 10 Mets in this short series with multiple hits. They had 8 Mets with multiple RBIs. It's 4 games. So you had that kind of balance in 4 games.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, when you talk about balance, when you talk about executing, when you talk about getting punches from every single way, you also have to think about the momentum that they got going on.
Hey, Poppy, let's see if we can listen in here. Feels like we're getting close.
Let him know, Gibby, let him know, let him know, let him know.
Come on, Paco! Fucking Zoom! Alright, guys, hey! And the story continues.
Hey, yeah.
When we clinch in Atlanta, hold on, when we clinch in Atlanta, we thank the best owners in the world, Steve and Alex. We thank our front office, David, baseball operations. We thank you guys in here, the trainers, everyone. Now, let's celebrate our families. Let's celebrate our wife, our parents, your kids, that behind the scenes are right there with us. And lastly, our fan base. Francisco Lindor calls it Mets Nation. Guess what? We believe, you need to continue to believe. Let's go!
Yeah, you heard Carlos Mendoza said it. They believe, the fans, we believe, let's go. And that's really been it. You know, Alex, when you think about them, we talked about how far away they were, 11 games under 500, right? They got 45 comeback wins. That's the most in the game. But really to their benefit, and Poppy, this goes to what you talked about the Phillies being on that low, right? The Mets have been playing playoff games for a month. I mean, they've had to win and had a good September and then had to get on the final day of the regular season to win to get in. So they've kind of been on that train for a long time, and they're hot.
KB, you said it earlier today. It felt like 4 days ago, but
yeah,
this whole idea about the Phillies have been the best record over the last 7 months. But for the last 2 months, let's be clear, the Mets have been a much better team, a hotter team, and we talked about rust versus rest. And the Phillies did not look like themselves. They looked like they were a step behind, and the Mets were clicking at all cylinders.
Absolutely, and let me tell you, if you think about how the Mets have been playing the past couple of months, it seems like every game that they have won, it's a playoff game, coming from behind, having that attitude, having that excitement. I mean, this is not new for them based on what they have done the past couple of months. You know, working hard on beating the opposition, that pitching has been right on top of their game. And like I always say, Lindor made that big difference on the ball club.
It's very, very similar to what the Texas Rangers went through last year. They're fighting for their playoff life at the end, and then they had to keep going and, had to beat some teams that were sitting around waiting around. But baseball's contagious, right? Hitting, good pitching, good defense is contagious. Bad hitting, bad pitching, bad defense is contagious. So if you get into the postseason, the hottest team usually moves on. The Mets were hot, and they've been hot for a long time. And I tell you what, they're dangerous, and I don't care who they play the next round. You better look out.
Derek, I know how much you respected Joe Torre. Poppy, I know how much you respected Tito Francona. I had that same love and admiration for a lot of my managers, but Lou Piniella was really my guy. Sometimes, Kevin, the best move is the move that you do not make. And give Carlos Mendoza credit. Here's a rookie manager, 44 years old. He's got the pressure from the New York media. He's got the pressure from the fan base to bench or move down in the order in Alonso against that last game against the Brewers. He did neither, and that led to the biggest home run in Alonso's career. And because of that home run, here they are today. They got this manager's trust.
Let's go to the clubhouse right now. We got Brandon Nimmo throwing on a headset, ready to talk to us. Champagne is flying. Brandon, it's Kevin Burkhardt and the Fox guys. Congratulations. Amazing to watch. And I just got to tell you, man, I remember interviewing you 13 years ago when the Mets picked you in the first round. So you've been there a long, long, long time. Your first taste of the LCS. What is this like for you on that whole journey?
I mean, it's hard to put it in words. It's just, I mean, the emotion that's tied to this, the amount of hard work that goes into getting to this spot. And you see everybody celebrating here, but you don't get to see all the years of hard work that have gone into this. And honestly, yeah, like you said, Kevin, I mean, I got drafted out of Wyoming all the way back in 2011, and this is the kind of stuff that I was dreaming about. But we had to wait a long time for it. It's 2024 now, and you know, there's been a lot of ownership change, front office change, manager change, players in and out, and I'm really the only one still left. And you know, I mean, this has been a long time coming, and we've wanted it so bad for our fan base for a long time. And I missed out on that 15-1 by just, you know, a half a summer. And so to be able to enjoy this now and this run that we're going on, and just, I mean, the unbelievable acts that have led to this. I mean, Francisco's home run tonight, the Grand Slam, was just a storybook. I mean, how do you even write? If you wrote this up, what we've done in the last week, the last 10 days, I don't think you'd believe it. I think if you saw this movie, you'd be like, nah, yeah, too many turns, too many times coming back. This couldn't even be close to real life, but it is. And that's just, I mean, all that emotion came pouring out from me on the field, and it's unbelievable. I'm so much hard work has gone into this.
Hey, Brandon, congrats. Just tremendous job by you guys. So much fun. Happy for you guys. What does it mean having a leader like Francisco Lindor playing at the top of his game? I know he called a meeting when you guys were 10 games out and everybody gave up on you guys. What does it mean to have a guy like that playing at the highest level in this moment?
I mean, it's everything that you want in a leader. I mean, he's an unbelievable person, unbelievable player, unbelievable teammate. He's just, I mean, he's five-tool at everything he does, you know? And it's been such a pleasure to be around him, because he's just one of the best people that I've ever known, and he wants everyone around him to do well and to be lifted up. Oh, God.
Got him!
I don't even know who that was.
Hey, Brandon.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Brandon, be
so
poppy
anyways,
here,
he's
man.
amazing.
Oh, Brandon.
Sorry, dude.
That's fine, that's fine. Big Papi right here, congratulations, man. I was gonna ask about your emotion, but I'm not even gonna go there. Now, you're one of the guys that has been there the longest. Talk to me about your new manager, Carlos Mendoza.
He's been amazing. I mean, Carlos, you know, he was in New York for, I think, 6 years prior in with the Yankees, and so he got to see all the ins and outs of how things work here, how things can be really good one day and you know, you can be the worst the next, and how you just need to stay even keel through all of that. And he's always been in good communication with all of us. And I think that's one of the best things and one of the best attributes you can have as a manager, is to be even keel and to have that good communication, because then you can stay up to date with where your players are at and how your team's feeling and kind of the temperature of your team. And, you know, you can start to urge on, hey, you know, I think you guys should have a team meeting, or I think you guys, you know, I think there's more from you guys that we can get, or, hey, you guys are doing everything you need to do, stay right there, it's baseball, it's going to turn around. And he has hit that balance so well this year, and obviously you can tell by where we're at now that he's really hit a successful recipe.
Hey, Brandon, this is Derek here. First of all, congratulations. And how special is this, and how bad did you guys want this for your Met fan base? I mean, this is a group that has been, I mean, they're diehard day in and day out. They've been waiting a long time. You mentioned it. How bad you guys want to do that at home for them?
So bad. I wanted it so bad for them tonight. I mean, to do it here, to have the first ever celebration at Citi Field, and christen this with, you know, champagne and laughter and celebration. And we wanted it so bad tonight. And we knew we didn't want to take this back to Philly. We knew we wanted to finish this now. And it took a long time. I mean, you know, we had to hit on that dam for a long time before it finally broke. We got in a lot of good situations early in the game, and you know, Francisco finally broke through for us. But I mean, I've been up here in the big leagues since 16, and as you know, Derek, the Mets, you know, were kind of thought of as like the other team in New York. And you know, when Steve bought this team, he had a dinner where he took us all individually and took time to have a dinner with us individually and said, how can we make this a world-class club? How can we change the narrative on the New York Mets and make them not just the other team in New York, but the team? And I credit them for wanting to do that and for wanting to make this team the absolute best and a world standard. And so we wanted to get it done right here, right from the top to the bottom. And I'm so glad that we were able to do that for Mets Nation. We're so happy, and we hope that they're celebrating out there just like we are. From the looks of it, from what I saw afterwards, they are, and they're enjoying this just as much as we are.
Congrats. You're the best, man. Go enjoy it. Thanks for joining us. Go have fun, and we'll see you in the LCS, okay?
Yes, heck yeah. Thank you so much, and let's go Mets.
Oh, so cool. Guy that's been there for so long and now gets to really enjoy it and get on to the next round for the first time in his career. Mets now await the winner of the Dodgers and Padres. Game 1 will be Sunday, 8 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.